safe to say that an average person that embraces the world of jazz knows of Charles Mingus, for he was such a unique person regarding his composition. Despite his character flaws, Charles Mingus revolutionized jazz through his unique style as well as his jazz workshops. This guy is Charles Mingus. Charles Mingus was born in the 1920s, when jazz was somewhat slow and not really intriguing to the ear for most. During his early years, he listened to Duke Ellington and studied double bass and formal composition, with many jazz legends like Lloyd Reese and the principal bassist of the New York Philharmonic. While studying with great mentors in firsthand, he early experienced jazz as a musician around 1940, and he got to tour with jazz legends like Louis Armstrong. Mingus was generally an angry man, hence his nickname the Angry Man of Jazz. Mingus got into a lot of drama, making a lot of enemies, sometimes even causing violent fistfights on the bandstands. He has almost crushed his pianist's hands, punched a trombone in the jaw, and isn't even liked by Ellington because of a heated argument in Ellington's band. Mingus started to revolutionize jazz in the mid-1950s when he started his first jazz workshops. These jazz workshops started out as a short-term thing that was different from traditional jazz rehearsals, but later became long-term as time progressed. This method of rehearsing is an informal format that is still relevant today. Jazz Workshop was really inspirational for young musicians because it allowed their voices to be heard back in the 1950s and today. Mingus' style is so unique compared to other musicians during the 1900s. During the 1920s, slow jazz was introduced. Then, 1940s, the swing era was in action. And most of all, bebop and cool jazz came into play in the 1950s. See, cool jazz was when funk and other fun charts started to become more known, but Mingus introduced organized chaos to jazz. It wasn't all the same thing played at the same time. It was different parts played at different times, played over each other. Canon is a good example of this organized chaos concept, for it captures all aspects of Mingus' style: the climax build-up, the overwhelm, the breakdown, and the sudden jumps of craziness in between. By the mid-1950s, Mingus composed multiple albums like Mingus at and The Clown. During this time, many people started to catch onto the jazz workshop style, like George Russell and Art Blakey in the Jazz Messengers, which many others latched onto, for it became a very productive way of rehearsing. During this time, Charlie Parker died, which affected Mingus a lot, for he made multiple songs like Bird Calls and Goodbye Pork Pie Hat contributed to him. This made Charlie Parker's style incorporated in Mingus' work become more well known, making Mingus proud that not just his work is getting traction, but Parker's name lives on. Because of Mingus' style starting to rupture in the 1950s, the general style of bebop, hard jazz, and other popular subgenres at the time started to get molded by Mingus' unique and innovative style. Many young musicians started to gain knowledge about Mingus' work, and even musicians that specialize in rock and hip-hop took inspiration from him.
Jumps into the rain. Radiohead and many others have brought this inspiration from a genius to light. We already discussed that Mingus's jazz workshop style has been revolutionary today, but let's take a deeper look into what that really looks like in an informal setting. Instead of being in a concert setup, many jazz combo groups or small bands have been going for a less organized setting and has been introduced to young musicians.
Do you think that having a flexible balance of an informal student-led combo grouping and a formal jazz setup is better for the experience of young musicians?
I would say yes. I had a combo unit myself when I was in high school, and just being in that small group setting, a small ensemble environment, made me a much better musician because you have people relying on you in a smaller group setting to carry your own part and make sure that you're playing like correct notes and rhythms and style, and it also forces you to change how you rehearse because you actually have to lead a rehearsal rather than your director actually leading the rehearsal. So I think it builds some like leadership skills, it builds musical independence, and it also builds like creativity because there's less structure. You're not just reading a piece of music, you also have to interpret that piece of music. So yeah, I think combos are super beneficial for musicians in general, and then what it actually does to the large group ensemble, it really impacts how people like listen and play together as well.
Mingus's style has been reworked into many people's compositions and has become inspirational for many jazz musicians in the past century. An example of reworking Mingus' style is Ethan Fillion's Meditations on Mingus. Another example is Booker Irwin's The Book Cooks album. Even today, Mingus' work has been incorporated into students' work in soloing.
Charles Mingus is a good reference to improv from or to reimburse his style into your work?
I think he is, definitely. I mean, his music, like Boogie Step Shuffle, Moaning, and like Fables of Fabulous, they're all music that has a unique style, different from others.
Yeah, I'd say kind of the same thing. It's unique. It's interesting. His style is definitely one that I've tried to replicate before. It's hard to really get at the core of it because I feel like there's a certain headspace you have to be in to try and play some of the Mingus songs and sound like him in solos. But it's a really interesting style to try and replicate because it's unique and cool.
Mingus overall influenced how jazz is rehearsed today, and also influenced young composers in the jazz realm regarding how they compose their music and how they take from his unique work. He revolutionized jazz through style and productivity. Others reacted by doing the same rehearsal style and took ideas from his composition. And today in society, combo groups work in a fun, informal environment, and young composers take or quote Mingus' themes 46 years after Mingus passed. Charles Mingus was overall an influence for young composers and for combo groups today.